everybody, and welcome to a new video. And today we're here to talk about my GameCube collection. Yes, the GameCube collection is finally being talked about. I've held off on this video for quite a while. I felt it wasn't necessary because I felt like I didn't have that many exclusive titles on the system, and a lot of games that are on the GameCube are pretty much on the other systems at the time. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do the video anyway. I have some games here that are exclusive, but not as many as I used to. Little history about the GameCube though. I felt like the system was gonna be like I don't know. I was kind of mad at the GameCube when it came out because it didn't have the DVD capability like the PS2 did, and I felt like I don't know, man. Nintendo's taking a step back and everything like that, and there's no real titles on the system that really grabbed me at the time. I don't remember what the launch titles were at the time, but they weren't really like anything that impressed me. But what did impress me or want me to get a GameCube was at the time, Capcom did that deal where the Resident Evil games were just going to be on the GameCube, which was freaking annoying, but it made me look at getting a GameCube because they were remaking Resident Evil 1, and also Resident Evil 0 was going to appear on the system. Plus, they were still working on Resident Evil 4 at the time, so that was a big deal. So I said, you know what, okay, I finally got one and everything like that. So during that, when the Resident Evil came out though, and I enjoyed the system, but I felt like these games could have been on the PS2 instead. You know, it's just like it never wowed me until like probably like years later. I think the GameCube was one of Nintendo's best systems out there. I mean, the Super Nintendo was great too, of course. N64, not my cup of tea really, but the GameCube, they're pretty much their first CD system. I thought they did a good job. So in this video, before I get to my collection of games, I want to show you guys my favorite games I have on the system right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want this video to be too long. But the first game, of course, you guys knew this was going to be on here. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. The original game was fantastic. There was really no reason to remake it. But they did do some things better in this version that they did over the PlayStation version pretty much. So Snake's fighting capability with a 2-punch and a jump kick, that was way better than the punch kick that he had in the freaking original. I thought that was awesome. Some of the boss battles were a little bit better in this one. One of the ones I can remember is the tank battle with Vulcan Raven is the name. Yeah, Ravens. I thought that was a lot better. I could go over a list of stuff, but this is definitely worth playing. Even if you have the original, I think it's worth having both games. So definitely check out Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Next up here we have, of course, you knew it was going to be on here, Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0. Now, Resident Evil 0 was considered the black sheep of the series before Resident Evil 6. One of my favorite scenes in this game was actually when you start the train and Rebecca and Billy are on top of the train and you got to go across to the other side and drop down. I thought that part looked so good back then. Now you look at the scene now, it doesn't look that great like it did back then, but it still was an impressive scene at the time. I just thought that was like really cool. I'll never forget that. Resident Evil 0, it plays good, but it's just weird the way the whole trade item system works and everything like that. You could drop items on the ground and just like pick them up later or trade them. It's just, it's kind of weird. They never used that formula again, thankfully, but still, it was okay. Now, Resident Evil Remake, this is where it's at right here. It's like they did everything that they wanted to do originally with the original Resident Evil game and put it in this one, and it really shows. I mean, they added enemies, added areas, just so much better. This is the definitive version of Resident Evil to play. Everybody should play this version of Resident Evil. So I'm not really going to go too much into the game because most of you guys have probably already played it, but if you haven't played Resident Evil Remake, you are really missing out. Next game here is Chaos Field. It's a little shoot 'em up here. This shoot 'em up is really cool because it's all boss battles pretty much. So if you like shoot 'em ups and everything like that and you like boss battles, this game's for you. Fast-paced action. I mean, one boss battle after another. It's pretty insane. Not a lot of people know about this game, and I thought it was very unique at the time. It actually came out, I think it's exclusive to the GameCube. I think it did come out for the Wii, a part of the shooting gallery or something like that. I can't remember what it was called, but if you see this game out there, definitely pick it up because I don't see too many shooters on the GameCube that I can remember. There's Ikaruga, but I hated that game. Ugh. Next game here is Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher is a really fun game. I haven't played it. I played it last year a little bit, I remember it, and I got halfway through it. But this is a pretty unique game. Unfortunately, the game didn't sell well, and no sequel or anything like that came out. But this kind of shows you the charisma that Sega had for third-party titles. I mean, Sega could make some great games. I mean, Sega's one of the best companies out there, even though they're not making hardware anymore. When it comes to their games, man, they put a lot of heart into it. So I feel like that's definitely a case with Billy Hatcher. So if you see this one out there, I think you guys should check it out. Oh my God, one of my favorites here, Eternal Darkness. This is a horror game, and this game is a trip. This game plays tricks on you pretty much, and if you play this game in stereo sound or surround sound, oh my God, you will be tripped out like beyond words. Here's a funny thing about this game though. One of my favorite scenes is actually the beginning of the game, where the girl finds out that her uncle's been murdered, and or something happened to him, and the detective that she meets is trying to explain to her what happens, but it's like he's hitting on her at the same time. He's like, what the hell's going on in this thing? It's so dang funny. But the game is really good. You should definitely check it out. I want to show you the scene here with the detective. You guys let me know what you think of the whole scene.
Ah, Miss Roivas, I'm pleased to meet you. I trust you had a pleasant trip?
Yes, I suppose so, considering.
Yes, my condolences. This is most unpleasant. It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Yes, it is. Can we get this over with, please?
Of course. This way.
Alright, so next up we have Star Fox Assault. This game took forever to come out for the GameCube. And this was actually made by Nintendo and Namco. I think there was an arcade game coming out for it. I don't know if it ever came out. It was originally called Star Fox Andromeda or something like that, or Armada or something like that. But this game pretty much plays like a Star Fox game, but it plays a little bit more like you could play like a 3D shooter on some levels. Like Fox gets out on foot and starts shooting enemies. You get in a tank and everything like that. But the real heart of this game was the flying battles, of course. They did try to expand and do other things with the game, but the flying part is the best part, just like any Star Fox game. And I thought they did that really well. The music in this game was outstanding. I mean, Nintendo knows how to do a soundtrack for their top titles and everything like that. When it comes to Mario, Zelda games, Star Fox, they don't skip on the music. So, but anyways, if you guys see this one out there, check it out. And last but not least, we have Teen Titans. Teen Titans is a 4-player beat 'em up. Basically, all the Titans are on screen at the same time, but you can actually switch between the ones that are being played by the computer. So, if I remember right, you could play 4 players, and then if you want to switch between characters like that, you could do that with the characters that are not being controlled by another human player. But people are missing out if they don't play this game. This game, I know, maybe you didn't like the cartoon or whatever like that, but the game is really good. Definitely really good beat 'em up. I really enjoyed it. I played it by chance back in the day. Thankfully I did, because this game just really impressed me. It's one of those games that you'll sit down and play, and you'll probably beat it the first time you play it, just because you're sitting there, you're enjoying the game pretty much. Not that it's like quick to beat or anything like that. Maybe it is, or maybe it is. I don't remember, but it's really good. So now that I showed you some of my favorite games I have on the system, it's time to show you guys what I have left in the collection. So let's take a look. All right, so here it is. After looking at it, man, I'm kind of disappointed that I'm missing some titles, but I am still overall happy with the collection I have for the GameCube. Definitely makes it worth having. As you can see, I pretty much have all the definitive Resident Evils for the system at the time. Even the Resident Evil 4 preview disc, Skies of Arcadia Legends, which, oh my God, I'm at the end of that game. I gotta just finish it. Tales of Symphonia, which I did not like that out of all the Tales games for some reason. I don't know why. I think I just didn't like the character models for some reason. But X-Men Legends, which is an awesome game that people don't talk about. I liked it more than X-Men Legends 2. Of course, Eternal Darkness, which we just talked about. Beyond Good and Evil, a fantastic game. The Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Spider-Man, Virtual Quest, that nobody ever talks about that game. And then you saw Chaos Break there. Now we're going to the next section here. Alien Homid, it's a great game. Star Fox, we just talked about. Sonic Gems Collection, definitely at the time was the way for me to play Sonic CD over the Sega CD version, which Man, that version's rough compared to the other ones. But I have the Turtles games because they have the arcade counterparts on them. That's the only games I'll play on those. I won't play the regular games because, let's be honest, man, they kind of suck. Teen Titans, of course, Boy Pop Fever. I've got the Spider-Man games. And over here, a lot of people don't know this, but Fight Night Round 2 with Bernard Hopkins on the cover has Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo unlockable on there. It's already unlocked when you start the game in the beginning, so you can tell that's the only game I play on there. And then we got Final Fantasy Chronicles, Bloody Roar, Capcom vs. SNK 2, fantastic game. Now we'll go to the next section here. Space Raiders, another cool. Well, I think it's a cool game. Def Jam Fight for New York, Scalar, another hidden gem that nobody talks about. Mario Kart Double Dash. Beach Spikers is the last GameCube game I actually got recently. Charlie's Angels, don't ask me why I got that crap. I thought it was going to actually be good, but yeah, I should have watched the movies first. And now we have the GameCube sound system, but it's more of a stereo system pretty much. It was pretty cool at the time. This is not my original one I had, but my original one, oh man, I thought that thing was on point. But of course, you know, nowadays I don't think it lives up to what we have today available for like surround sound, but it was cool at the time. Also, the back here shows you everything it came with, and this thing was actually pretty much, I think it was kind of ahead of its time. But you guys let me know, anybody that had this thing, what you thought about it. Here's the intact game screen. I remember when I got this back when I first got to North Carolina, and this thing I was actually using as a TV to play my PS2 games on because it had an audio video port on the back you could plug your PS2 games into. But as far as GameCube stuff, everything looks pretty good, but dark games like Resident Evil don't look too good on it, so just be aware of that. And here's my old school game screens right there. Yeah, they're pretty beat up, but they still work pretty good. I got the 4 Wavebirds there ready to go. Got to play wireless on the GameCube. Of course, I got the Game Boy player at the bottom. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you in this video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you in the comments, and I will see you later.